Most parents don't wake up wanting to mess their child up. They wake up tired, overstimulated, trying to do the best they can with the tools they were given. And yet, two loving parents can raise two very different children. Not because one cared more, but because how we parent quietly shapes who our children become. Psychologists have spent decades trying to understand this, and across cultures, income levels, and family structures, one pattern keeps appearing. Not rules alone, not love alone, but the balance between the two. In child psychology, this balance is often described through four core parenting styles. They exist on two invisible axes. One is control versus freedom. The other is emotional warmth versus emotional distance. Every parent falls somewhere on this map, often without realizing it. Let's make this human. Imagine 4 children, same world, different homes. Sarah grows up in a house where rules are strict and obedience is expected. Her parents love her deeply, but they believe that discipline must come before emotion. When Sarah cries, she's told to calm down. When she talks back, she's punished. When she forgets a chore, privileges disappear. Her nervous system learns something very early. Feelings are dangerous. Compliance is safety. According to research summarized by the American Psychological Association, children raised under highly authoritarian control often become very good at following rules, but not very good at listening to themselves. Sarah grows up responsible, polite, successful on paper, but inside she struggles to answer a simple question. What do I actually want? Because no one ever helped her practice that skill. Now meet Peter. Peter's parents are loving, warm, always available, but they avoid conflict at all costs. If Peter doesn't want to walk, he's carried. If he wants ice cream, he gets it. If he wants to stay up all night gaming, no one stops him. There are no real boundaries, only comfort. At first, this looks like freedom, but the developing brain doesn't experience unlimited choice as freedom. It experiences it as overload. The Harvard Center on the Developing Child explains that young brains are not yet wired for self-regulation. They borrow that skill from adults. Without limits, Peter never learns how to tolerate frustration, or disappointment, or delay. As he grows older, losing feels unbearable, conflict feels unfair, and the world feels like it should adjust to him. Now imagine Arthur. Arthur's parents are firm and deeply warm. They allow play, they encourage curiosity. But limits are clear. Ice cream is allowed on Sundays. Screens are allowed for a short, predictable time. Mess is allowed, but it's clean together. When Arthur resists, his parents listen. They don't shame him. They don't rescue him. They co-regulate. Neuroscience shows that this matters. The NIH and AAP both emphasize that emotional regulation develops through repeated experiences of stress with support, not stress avoided entirely and not stress enforced harshly. Arthur learns something powerful. Hard things are survivable. Feelings are allowed. Rules make sense. As an adult, Arthur doesn't blindly obey authority, but he doesn't rebel against it either. He participates, he reflects, he chooses. And then there is Nora. Nora has freedom, but no presence. Her parents are physically there, but emotionally absent. Busy. Disconnected, unavailable. No one notices what she does. No one responds when she struggles. Over time, Nora learns something devastating. I don't matter. Attachment research from Oxford Psychology Studies shows that emotional neglect doesn't just affect behavior, it reshapes self-worth. Nora stops expecting comfort, stops trusting connections, stops feeling altogether. Not because she's strong, but because feeling without response hurts too much. In recent years, researchers have added a 5th style to this map. Over-involved parenting, also called helicopter or snowplow parenting. These parents are loving, attentive, and constantly intervening. They remove obstacles before the child ever feels challenge. Homework is managed, conflicts are negotiated for them, failure is prevented, but growth requires friction. Studies referenced by the APA suggest that children raised without the chance to struggle often show lower perseverance, higher anxiety, and avoidance of effort. Not because they are weak, but because their nervous system never learned, I can handle this. Here's the truth most parenting advice misses. There is no perfect style, but there is a dangerous imbalance. Too much control crushes autonomy. Too much freedom overwhelms the brain. Too much distance starves attachment. Too much rescue weakens resilience. Psychologist Diana Baumrind, who first defined these styles, summarized healthy parenting in one sentence: a balance of demandingness and responsiveness. And educator Maria Montessori added something timeless. Never help a child with a task at which they feel they can succeed. Not neglect, not pressure, support, repair over perfection. Because parenting isn't about controlling outcomes. It's about building a nervous system that can face the world. And no, it's not alone. So maybe the question isn't which parenting style is best, but rather, in this moment, does my child need guidance or do they need belief? And can I offer both without losing myself in the process?